Hey everybody, welcome back. I am KRX, and we're here doing another SWOT analysis for Europa Universalis 4. We're playing as Mewar. This is updated as of Leviathan release, 2021, patch 1.31. I think at this point they've already done like 4 or 5 post-release patches for the game, so most of the issues have been solved and such. And we're playing as Mewar. So Mewar is a country that we've actually played a full campaign on the Twitch channel. It's a country where there's an achievement dedicated to Mewar called Mewar Never Changes, War Never Changes, where you essentially complete their entire mission tree, because when Dharma came out, they got a really nice extensive mission tree that essentially has them basically conquering and unifying most of India. They also have a achievement, I believe, for forming Rajputana and having a certain amount of the special units and a certain amount of influence with the Rajputs and a certain amount of units trained from them, because I believe Mewar gets access to like a special they get something with the Rajputs, and there's an achievement for that, forming Rajputana and having a certain amount of the Rajput units, I believe. It looks like we're actually starting, I'm just noticing we're starting with some rebels here. But basically a SWOT analysis, guys, is looking at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of a country. It's devising a plan. It's assessing the situation. It's the process of understanding what should we do, how should we do it, like how do we get off to a good start, how do we have a good foundation under us. And then in episode 2 of this sort of mini-series quick start guide for Mewar, we will be doing opening moves for Mewar. So episode 1 is just setting everything up, checking out the situation, economics, getting production going, looking at the military situation, looking at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And then episode 2 is we're going to be actually doing opening moves and trying to complete some of the early game objectives. So we're definitely going to have to take these guys and just ram over here. That's interesting. Now we have an amazing ruler, a 446, and if we made this guy into a general, he'd be probably pretty amazing. He'd be pretty amazing. I think instead he's pretty young, and our heir is actually about similar age. So I think we make our heir into a general, not our king, because our king is actually like really good. We don't want him to die on the battlefield. Oh, actually, wow, a 232 is pretty good. I don't even think we have to roll a general, because I doubt he'll come out that good with only 17 army tradition. Guys, keep in mind that we do have some beginner tutorials on the channel, but this is, this is for intermediate players. This is for players that kind of understand the flow of the game. But this is an exercise, right? This is fundamentally an exercise as to devising a plan and understanding ecosystems in the game and getting started in the game and getting off to a good start. Looks like, actually, interestingly enough, I'm just looking here, we actually have this province is ours, and this looks to be our subject. So these guys are a subject of ours, which is kind of neat. Malwa's rivaled us, so let's actually go in here, and I'm going to tell our subject they're threatened by us. They actually kind of like us. I think I'm just going to tell our subject, hey, get the claims, man. Points of interest. Get the claims on all of this stuff. And we'll try to grow out our subject here. It is a little bit awkward that this province is disconnected. One of the cool things about Mewar, it's weird that this is our capital here. This 5 development grain province is our capital. And our capital eventually will move via missions to this province here, Eugene. But we do have a 9 development gold province right here. So dev boosting this up will be good, and will likely give us, I mean, that's a 0.66 monthly income. That is insane. I don't see any reason not to do this immediately. $62, we'd only be able to hit the button once. I'd like to hit that a few times, though. That's going to be a huge amount of additional income. We're making 1.778 ducats a month, although this maybe does need to wait till the next month to update. These are the Separatists that we need to deal with. We're going to be crossing a river on them. So what we could do is we could come up to here and then zig down and not be crossing a river this direction. Let's get some rivals. It looks like Malwa's already rivaled us in Gujarat. Are we bordering Gujarat or not? No. Yes, sorry. Right here. Gujarat's rivals and enemies are Bahmanis and Malwa Malwa has rivaled them. So they won't be allying. That's actually kind of nice. They won't be getting an ally with each other. That's kind of nice. Avijanpur, would you ally? I feel like there's a real good chance that Sirand will actually conquer Delhi. These guys start in a little bit of a conflict, and usually this country conquers Delhi and then forms Delhi, sort of becomes like a new Delhi. So I'm almost kind of tempted to butter these guys up in the anticipation of them becoming a pretty good northern ally there. Although I'm kind of noticing that like Balmanis... See, I don't want Balmanis to get dogpiled here by Vijayanagara. I don't want to get into a war defending Balmanis against Vijayanagara. We're actually Hindu. Holy cow, that's really cool. So we are a Hindu nation, so we can form Bharat instead of Hindustan, which is really neat. That's actually why a lot of these nations are just not going to like us, like as a default. It looks like Balmanis and Malwa might actually ally each other potentially. Sindh doesn't really like us. I don't know if Multan's really the best ally here. How many diplomatic relationship slots do we have? 3. There's a lot of nations in India. I think we're going to want to take... I think we're going to want to get what we can get. You know what the heck? Maybe Vijayanagar would be better. They haven't rivaled Gujarat, though. Gujarat's probably just a little bit too weak for them to rival them. Yeah, I think we try to rival or ally Vijayanagar. No, they will not take a royal marriage. How close are we on that? Not as close as one would hope. Can we rival anyone that they've rivaled? Like, can we rival Balmanis, or is Balmanis too big for us? Balmanis is too big, and we can't rival Bengal. Probably a combination of they're maybe just a little bit too far away. I think we're going to rival Delhi because they might not even exist in a bit, so we might eclipse them. We're going to rival Mewar because I think we just kind of need to. And Gujarat's already rivaled us. Let's butter up Jaunpur. And let's look and see our missions. Before we assign our last guy, we might need to get a spy network. What do we have for missions here? Order in the domain. We get a bunch of free claims from this, which is really cool. Yeah, we get a bunch of free claims on this area. That's gonna be awesome. Have stability at least 2. Okay, so that's just gonna admin point dump. Fewer rebels than 1, and then we need to own. We need to own these. Oh, that's kind of annoying. So we have to. That'll take 10 years to integrate these guys. What the heck? And then it's going to want us to come this way. So we need to be working northward right now. It's going to take us 10 years to integrate these guys. Yeah, it doesn't count. It says specifically own. It says we don't own it yet, so that's not... What is this here? Mewar, a level 2 fort. A Mewar. Owned by Mewar. Mewar. Oh, so we just need to take this, and then there needs to be a level 2 fort on it. That'll get us going into a certain amount of development, get some money. Okay. Capital changes. Yeah, the capital. Okay, so our capital will become Mewar. So this will become the capital. And we'll gain some actual production development there, which is really cool because that's a gold mine. The Rajput influence is 70-year grade. Loyalty is 60-year grade. 5 owned provinces. All of the following must be true. Have barracks. And then livestock producing provinces. So this is stuff that just as we expand and as we play around with the estates. So there's nothing that's going to give us free claims like immediately. It looks like this is going to take a while. Call me crazy, but integrating these guys is going to take at least 10 years. Yeah, January 54. I mean, we don't consider it to be cores or anything, so it's not going to be instantaneous. But okay, so We have to build our own spy networks. We have to build our own spy networks. I guess let's work on Nagur. There's a bunch of tiny little nations here, right? There's Nagur, there's these guys here, there's these Kutch down here. There's this little dude here. There's tons of these little nations. We got all kinds of different opportunities for expansion. Although I think down here we're going to try to avoid down here mostly. So we'll probably get free claims down there. There's a fort here. There's no unrest here. I think we're going to mothball this fort for now. Same with this one, just to save ourselves a buck or two. Looks like we have a deity that we can select here. Early game, core creation cost minus 10%, minus 5% aggressive expansion. That could be good. Diplomatic reputation, improved relations could be amazing. Because, like, improved relations helps with aggressive expansion anyways, right? By having it decay faster. Core creation cost is nice, but 10%, I can take it or leave it. Plus one diplomatic reputation will get things going better. 5% discipline and 5% siege ability is quite nice as well. I don't think we're going to have to be doing too many conversions because I think most of this is Hindu. So most of it will just be our religion, I believe, by default for now. We're not going to be building any buildings yet. Trade efficiency is probably pretty low, but I bet our tax rate's not bad. It's not terrible. Most of our money is really actually coming in from the gold mine, so I think, yeah, I think we go for the diplomatic option here. Gainsha. We actually have the money to get an advisor, which is kind of cool. But I think before we do that, let's look at the estates. Oh, we have to get rid of the rebels before we can seize land. Oh. Well, we actually start with 50% crown land, which is kind of nice. So we can actually give out crown land if we wanted to right off the bat. Like, we could just immediately get more monthly administrative. Holy cow. 39%? Yeah. We could do that right off the bat. What else do we have in here? Now, the estates in India are actually pretty unique. So these are not exactly equivalent to, like, the merchant guilds, the, you know, the nobility. Although these guys are kind of the nobility. And I believe the clergy concept is kind of split between these guys and you know, it's different, but there's still some parallels. Like clearly, like if we click on these guys, we still get the administrative option, administrative power option. See, a lot of the nations that we're going to be fighting are not going to be of our religion, so expansionist zealotry might actually make sense. But interestingly enough, it makes the loyalty equilibrium lower with these guys. We might just do supremacy over the crown. We're going to need to see what kind of advisor we're going to want to grab. Enables the decision that allows you to change your personal deity every 20 years at the cost of 25 legitimacy. That's kind of cool. Instead of just every time that the ruler dies. That's kind of neat, and it gives us influence, but I don't know. I think we're going to hold off on that. We need things to give loyalty, to be honest. This would just give 10 loyalty. I think we want the extra admin power. Why not? We got the crown land to give away. Let's do it. Ownership, 20% land ownership, giving special unit force limit plus 10%. Plus 1 land leader fire. Wow, that's kind of nice. Minus 15 army tradition, though. But having that just on permanently is quite good. This gives them a little bit of crown land. Since they do have 20%, we'd get special unit force limit, which is kind of cool. Plus 10%. Or maybe we have some of this already. Does it show up over here? Maybe we don't, I don't know if we have any until we establish the regiments. Let's do that. That's the very thematic thing to do. Be to do that. Let's make sure they get a little bit more influence. And we might want this cheaper military advisors. There we go. So 60% equilibrium right now. This is a great one right here. Just simple, just 10 influence, 10 loyalty, development cost -5, state maintenance -25. I mean, why would we not hit that button? We can't give away any more land without going below. Yearly corruption modifier gives them a lot of happiness too. I think that's basically it for the Janes until we can get this diplomatic power, maybe. This is where we go to be indebted and get the cheap loans, the 1% loans. Okay. What about these guys over here? So this is where we go to get cheaper diplomatic advisors. Monthly war exhaustion -0.02, -50% war tax cost. This is actually really kind of cool. So it's only 1 military point per month instead of 2. This is really neat. And that war exhaustion burn off is incredible. They have very low influence. We probably could do this, even though it's a -5, and get away with it. What else do we have here? Yeah, let's hit some of these buttons over here. We're at 32 influence on that side, 46 over here. So now they should be at 50 equilibrium, which we want them to be about 50, and they should have about probably 40%. Actually, what are they going to be at? 47? No, 43% when this updates, I think, about. Okay, this is looking pretty decent. I think most of these guys are at in equilibrium. Yeah, these guys aren't quite at 50 yet. But they're slightly above their influence, which is nice. We'll worry about these guys in a second. It'll be fine. I don't want any of them to get too powerful on us. And we're gonna have to keep seizing land too. So when these rebels are dead, we'll have to seize land from them. Let these guys support us for a bit. So we have these guys that we're going to be taking care of when we unpause here. We don't have any of these to worry about, but we can see how unite the Rajputs. Get some new traditions and ambitions from that. What do we have right now? Infantry combat ability 10%, infantry cost -20%. That's actually really nice. Monthly war exhaustion -0.03. That's awesome. You don't need a lot of minus war exhaustion, right? But just a little bit of ticking minus war exhaustion means you basically never have to deal with that stat ever, unless you're in a very difficult war that you're going back and forth on. But most of the time, if you're winning the wars effectively, it's not too big a deal. My yearly army tradition decay reduction is really nice. Development cost reduction is really nice. Extra discipline, those are looking great. Mewar has great ideas for sure. So we need to look at our trade situation. I think we've already reduced the fort maintenance a little bit on some of these guys. Other than that, this is all looking fine. We could absolutely hire some advisors. We already have the diplomatic guy. I think this would quite literally get us exactly. This is the administrative guy. That'll be at 51% equilibrium, and then they should be at about 50% loyalty. So that'll add up pretty nice. We don't really have anyone here that's going to give us a stat that's meaningful in this case. So maybe we won't worry about. Improved relations will be nice. and production efficiency. I don't think we'll need national unrest modifier. Technically, we could get another guy. Just be like raking in the points. But if we're going to do that, we really should come over here. 60, 57. I think these guys will be slightly imbalanced if we do this. What the heck? Let's go for it. What could possibly go wrong? Fort defense. We actually have a lot of forts. There we go, guys. I think we're decently set up for Malwa. Pretty awesome little country. We've looked at our missions. We just need to pause, take care of these rebels, and then we'll be able to seize land from the estates, start building claims on all of these tiny little countries, and then just start preparing for the war that we want to go into. But for the most part, I think we can just kind of conquer any of these guys while we're waiting on integrating these guys or maybe expanding these guys a little bit, and then we'll get free claims into Malwa and Gujarat. It looks like after we integrate these guys, but that'll take about 10 years. So we'll go north first, and then we'll go south. We're hoping to get Vijayanagar as an ally, and we're also hoping to probably get maybe Jaunpur, maybe Multan, maybe Sirhind, potentially. It's hard to say. Guys, thanks everybody for hanging out for this EU4 SWOT analysis. Just sort of a quick start guide, getting a sense, getting our bearings as Mewar, figuring out the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and just getting a plan devised. And in the next episode, we'll actually do some opening moves. So thanks everybody for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one.